ripple effect of love for dads and families. How are you doing today? Let's look at going from conflict to connection, right? Not always easy. However, it is possible to get to a point where things are much better. So, we all know that fights happen. I mean, we are human beings. But what matters is how we repair it after. Do your kids pull away after a conflict? They're like, well, then there's something that didn't quite work, right, to mend the conflict. Do you struggle with apologizing or reconnecting afterward? So let's talk about how we can rebuild the connection without shame or guilt. And that's really, really important. There are many different ways to repair something. I have seen one technique, when you say sorry, kids often feel that it's not honest. And having taught for 30 years, that I can tell you when the teacher says, well, you have to apologize. I'm sorry. Well, that's not sincere. There's no need to improve the situation or make it better or kind of fix it so that there isn't a fight about the same topic again, right? So, one thing that I have found that worked really well with children, I learned this like 40 years ago when I started teaching. This teacher said, Christine, if you have the children just say, I didn't like it when you did X because it made me feel Y, and say why it made you, how it made you feel. That sentence is super, super important. I still remember this day where this little guy was in grade 3 or 4. And one of the kids, you have to monitor, right? Each child gets to say what it is that they need to say. And very interestingly, I was kind of blown away, and so was the second person talking. He says, well, I didn't like it when you did this because in kindergarten, you made me feel, I don't know, tiny, let's just say, or you made me feel like dirt or whatever it is that it made him feel. And the other student went, you still remember that? You're still dealing with that. So the kid said, well, I'm really sorry that, I intimidated you or whatever it was in kindergarten. Are we good now? And it's asking as well, are we good now? Because if you can, just so the fight was triggered by what had happened in kindergarten, and they're in grade 3, 4 now. But by it being said what it is and how it made the child feel, then the apology and the it's a lot more sincere. And the child said, oh, I'll never do that. He took action. He said that he wouldn't do it again. And I never had an issue with those 2 children in the yard again. So that's very interesting, isn't it? That you can find a sentence that works between kids. The important part to this technique is to really be able to keep one child calm while one expresses themselves really clearly and to the end of their idea before you let the other one know. So, what I have found is that if you can tell the other child, I understand that you want to say your piece right now. However, we're starting here. You will get your turn. So once they know they can get their turn, they get out of that fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode, and they can be present and they can listen to what the child is saying. So this gives it a much more genuine, and it prevents children from feeling shame. So you can do this as a parent. Say, I didn't like it when you left your dishes on the table after you were done eating because it made me feel like I have to do everything all the time. Whatever it is that feeling, the child needs to become aware of it. And then the child can say, well, I didn't like it when you, because sometimes children will do things to spite us, or they don't intentionally want to hurt us, but they have this resentment in their heart and it comes out in weird ways. So it gives them the opportunity to be able to say what's going on without us saying, if you ask, pick up your dishes. Why didn't you pick up your dishes? You always do. Then we get into this runaround of 1,000 explanations instead of getting right to the core of it. So this will create a lot less shame, will it not? And it will be authentic, will it not? Because, just saying I'm sorry to me is like, what are you sorry for? Right? If 10 things happened in the, I don't know, last 5 minutes between children, that's very possible. And so, what are you sorry about? I don't know. I'm just sorry. Well, how is that helping you get to the bottom of things? However, from the heart, I didn't like it when you did this. So, we know what the trigger is, right? You might need to self regulate so that you're not triggered more, but this is very important. And then your child can also learn to apologize in a very sincere way because it made me feel this way. And they connect to the feeling that they have. They connect to, you know, more what's happening inside of them so that they can really express their regret properly and find a solution. Because the I'm sorry, I've seen it many times in the classroom with my children, even myself. I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. My daughter at one point said, Mom, just stop saying I'm sorry. Right? And she was right. Stop saying I'm sorry. Some of us is like this first thing that comes out, I'm sorry. But what are you doing? Are you communicating how you're feeling and what you went through and what triggered you to feel sorry? So you could also ask things like, how do you think your friend felt when that happened? Especially if you have only one child with you, right? And the other child that's part of the conflict, that can cultivate more empathy and some self awareness, right? And as well, teaching them some actionable steps. So the child didn't pick up their dishes and you've mentioned it, and they can say, well, today when I wanted you to do this, you didn't do that. Okay, so how do we repair this so we don't feel all this resentment in our hearts anymore? What can we do? Each of us, right? Because it's two people, and anytime there's a conflict, there are two people involved. So the same solution might work for both, but it might also be that you each have your own solution. And I keep having this thought, you know, to help kids understand the implication of their actions sometimes. It's like if you have a child that lies a lot, they've learned it somewhere. Who's lying to themselves? The parent might be lying to themselves. Sometimes we don't want to see that. And it's like saying to a child, okay, every time you say a lie, I want you to go and put a nail in the fence. So there was this big wooden fence, 3 2x6s. And so the child's nailing away, nailing away, nailing away every time that they would lie or that they would do whatever it is that they do that you want them to stop. And once the fence is all full, the child goes, "Hey, my fence is full of nails." Okay. So the dad says, "Well, I want you to take them out. Every time you um, correct the situation or find a solution that's a win win for both parties, I want you to go take out a nail." So the child goes and practices, and takes out a nail, takes out another one. And when he's all done, dad says, "Look at the fence now. It's full of holes." So we do leave an imprint. And it's important that our children understand and that we understand that too. I know we don't get up in the morning with the idea of, "Oh, I'm going to lie to my child today," or "I'm going to get upset just for the sake of it." There's no way that we do this. However, triggers happen, things happen throughout the day that makes it challenging to always be calm. Yes, you can snap, tap, zap, and you can, you know, um, do many things to self regulate. But until you get there, you need to have ways to release the guilt and reconnect with your child. How many of you feel guilty right now because of something you've said or something you've done to or with your child or your loved one, right? So today we're going to take a good 5 minutes. Let's go for it. Let's snap, tap, relax those shoulders, and exhale. Connect to your body, feel it, like scan from the tip of your toes, pretend you have x-ray vision, to the top of your head, and see where it is that you have tension or discomfort or whatever, however it's showing up. When you think about the guilt that you have towards one of your children or towards your spouse or partner. So taking a deep breath in again, scanning your body, noticing where it is, relaxing those shoulders, and bring it on to the spiraling train to zap that out, because keeping the guilt just creates a bigger disconnection, in my opinion, between you and your loved one, whether it be your child or your spouse or partner. So another nice, and yourself, right? Because there's the guilt that we have towards ourselves sometimes can be way bigger than the guilt that we have with towards others. So relax those shoulders and put that on the spiraling train. Whatever it is that you feel guilty about. And if it is thoughts, you're not feeling anything, but you've got all these thoughts in your brain. "Oh, I'm not good enough," and you feel guilty. I highly suggest making a C, putting it around the ears, tapping gently as you breathe in, as you scan your body, notice where it is. Thank your body for showing you where the tension is or the discomfort, and blow that onto a hot air balloon. And see yourself pull the string so that it burns all that guilt. You don't need to carry that guilt. So let's breathe in. And those words, put them onto the hot air balloon as you zap them out. And how does that feel? One more time, breathing in. Tune into the guilt. How intense is it? Has it gone down? And exhale that out. Has it gone up? If it has gone up, we need to continue, or please book a call quickly so that we can work together. Breathing in, noticing, and putting that onto the hot air balloon or the train, whatever works best for you today. And how do you feel right now? Can you see that if it worked well for you, not if it worked well, how can I say this? For me, there's a sense of grounding. I'm a lot calmer. I was able to release some guilt. There are so many different aspects that we can have about guilt. So, releasing guilt is so, so important. And it keeps us mentally sane, I think, because when we go down the rabbit hole of guilt, how is that helping the reconnection with your child, with your spouse? Not too good, is it? So, be brave, be strong, excuse me. And I'd love to know how you handle things when you've lost your temper with your child. Some children have the love language of, what is it? Touch. They will need a hug to be able to release. And you can say, would you like a hug? If they're ready, they will love it. You can also now say, would you like to do snap, tap, zap with me? Dads who are doing this is creating amazing results in their life and their child's life. Become a partner with your child if you have temper issues. If you want it to go a bit faster, book a call. If you want to do the 104 episodes, because that's what we're up to, go ahead. I teach many, many tricks throughout this training, and I wish you all the best. And I believe in you. If I did it, you can do it. It's possible, and it's time for you to take care of yourself and of your child. Oh, and here's a nice picture of the steps that you can do for the snap, tap, zap so that you can see step number 1, snap, step number and breathe in, step number 2, tap and relax your shoulders, and step number 3, zap out those emotions onto the spiraling train. And step number 4, see how you feel. Great, have fun and enjoy. You can join me on the YouTube channel. You can Google Snap Tap Zap on or the Ripple Effect of Love for Dads, and you will find me easily on the YouTube channel. Take care.